Hello, Fight Inside fans, viewers, and listeners of the Filipino podcasting machine, Prince D, and with me as always, Timmy B. Before we start, please take a moment to follow and subscribe to us on YouTube or wherever you get your pods, and leave 5-star reviews. If you'd like to support the show, check out middaysquares.com and use Fight Inside 15 to save 15% on your first order. On today's episode, we talked to a bare knuckle champion ahead of his BKFC debut, continue our discussion about abusive coaches following the Aspen Ladd corner, talk Vettori versus Costa, and a whole lot more. Tim, hit it!
Yeah, it's Timmy B, Prince D, Fight Inside. Yeah.
Our guest today is a bare knuckle fighter with an impressive career that includes 48 amateur fights, being the BKB lightweight world champion, a BKB prize fighting champion, and being a father of 3 children. He comes to us today having recently signed with BKFC and ready to make his North American debut. With an impressive performance, he'll be looking for that title shot to add more gold to his legacy. Hailing from Weoley Castle, Birmingham, England, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podcast,
Connor, the Brum Town Bomber, Tierney!
Yes. Oh. How you doing, Connor?
Yeah, I'm good, guys. How are you? You all right?
Good, man.
Good. Connor, man, you know what? I actually, before we did this interview, I actually took 2 scoops of my pre-workout, so I'm fired up. So we got to get this thing rolling.
I'm ready.
That's good. Connor, thank you for joining us. Bare knuckle boxer, right?
Yeah.
It is generally newish to North America, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're watching BKFC here, which is slowly like getting more and more popular. First thing I'd have to say, though, is that you don't look like a bare knuckle boxer. Like, you look like you could come out of like a Guy Ritchie movie, maybe. You know, you definitely don't have enough tattoos. No. So that's a real problem. But how did you get into bare knuckle boxing?
So firstly, I just want to clear up the fact that I've got no tattoos and I'm not ugly. So
you do not fit? Is that what you're saying?
I don't fit in bare knuckle fighting bare knuckle boxing because people want me to be 3 teeth missing, scar on my eye, I'm missing an eyeball, I have a prosthetic eye. They want the lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all they get is some pretty boy who uses sunbeds with teeth out there. He jumped on the bed. But no, how I got into bare knuckle boxing was I was an amateur boxer, obviously. I boxed all my license at the age of 8. And then I finally thought I've had enough, and I seen a bare knuckle prize fighter come up with BKB in the UK. And I was like, right, I fancy a bit of that. Load of cameras on it, live on TV. And obviously, me being me, wanted all the fame. I didn't want to be going fighting in civic halls and stuff and nothing. I wanted to be straight away on the telly. So I'd done it, and everyone was like, "Oh, you're mad? That's bare knuckle. It's different." So I was a bit frightened, to be fair, because obviously I've had scuffles in the street. You know what I mean? But I've had a bit of a drink, so like you don't really feel them. But but literally, like I was like, right, okay, I can box. I'm just gonna box. And I just I got into it through that. So they contacted me back and was like, look, we really like your footage. I want you to be in our first ever 8-man prize fighter tournament over the space of 3 shows. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. And I went on and then I went and fought this guy called Johnny Lawson. And I remember I just stepped in the ring with him and he's covered in tattoos, bald head, scars, beard. He's all looking across the ring. I'm getting in there all like a pretty boy, no tattoos. This little Persian rug of hair on my chest. That probably no beard, just like little bits of bum fluff because I still not couldn't grow on properly. And I'm like, oh shit, like this is actually real now. And I remember like the ring in BKB is like significantly smaller than BKFC's ring.
Yeah.
It's really small. It's like 14 foot. And I got in, it was like a fucking post box. I was like, oh, what, like, do you know what I mean? I was like, how have they even got the ref in here? You know what I mean? Barely move. And you take 5 steps and you're in the other corner. Yeah. And basically, like, that was my first ever bare knuckle fight. And how I got into it, and I ended up absolutely just destroying the guy. I never got a punch on me. It was brilliant, to be fair. And then I just fell in love with it since then.
But that's because
Actually, what I was gonna say, Connor, like, and on top of that, like, you don't have a man bun or a faux hawk or a shaved head. Look at your hair, man, like a perfect set. Look, how do you keep the nice pH balance, my friend?
I'm just on the sunbeds. Oh, nice haircut. I get my eyebrows done. Get my big. You don't get fight. Fighters are not like I am. Listen, when it comes to fighting, I will fight any man. I'm tough as they come. I'm fucking very skillful. But then when it comes to personal looks and keeping myself well looked at, me and the missus are on the sunbeds together. We're getting our eyebrows together. Everyone's like, "You shouldn't be a fucking fighter." I'm like, "Listen, I'm the most dangerous fighter who happens to look after himself."
Now, the thing about, though, the transition from boxing to bare knuckle, though, it must have been different, though, because I mean, when you're boxing, you've got the big padded gloves, so there's a lot more room to hit someone. Now it's a lot tighter. Your guard has to be tighter. Yeah. Do you need to train with like different people that are more focused on bare knuckle? It can't just be regular boxing coaches, right?
Yeah, to be fair, it is regular boxing. I've never, until I signed the BKFC contract, I've not done anything differently in my actual boxing career. In terms of, the only thing I've done differently is I've trained in 4-ounce MMA gloves and done pad work in bare knuckle work on the bags and stuff. But in terms of sparring and most of my boxing bag work, it's all in 16-ounce gloves, head guard, groin guard, protecting my hands and my face. But yeah, like when I tell people that, they don't understand. They think that I've got to be sparring bare knuckle. I'm not. Well, I'm not going to jump in a ring and be breaking my hands and cutting my face up for nothing. I'll get paid for that. You know what I mean? So it's all about protecting my hands and my face, and getting the fitness, because bare knuckle is completely different. You can't sit on the ropes and hold them up, because you imagine bare knuckles, you punching something there and there, it kills. So that's why them 2-minute rounds are suitable, because you've got to be able to move and get out of trouble for them 2-minute rounds. A lot of people don't. Some people will want to sit there, the nitty gritty, and they want to take a few to give a few back. But no, I'm too handsome for that shit. Joking.
No. Hey, you gotta say it like it is. Now, when we announced you, we say the Brum Town Bomber, and for those that don't know, Brum Town is the slang for Birmingham, where you're from, right?
Yeah.
And so Brum Town is a very posh city, posh area, fancy. What's the...
basically it's that fancy. Literally my car's been broken into like twice in the past 2 weeks.
Oh,
wow. So do you know what happened? It's funny, right? It got broken in. They're picking the lock on it because it's a Focus, and Fords are so easy to get robbed around there. And then like I went and posted a Facebook status, and I was like, "You fucking little pricks!" I own that car out, so I would have literally like, no one's touched the car since. And everyone's probably like, "Oh yeah," because obviously now Bare Knuckle World Champions getting his car broken. They've actually clapped him like, "Oh yeah, that's Connor's car." I actually probably know him, and they just wouldn't bother telling me.
Yeah. So it was a tough area though to grow up in, like Brum Town. I think it is a tough area, right?
Yeah, it's a tough area. Like, this is what people don't understand. Like, when you think of England, a lot of people just think of London. They think of the tourism, the tea, the crumpets, the biscuits. But nah, it's completely different. And living in Birmingham, it's rough. It's rough as arse, man. It's proper. You know, from when I was younger, I was fighting. I was street fights at the age of 6 or 7 years old in front of my mum and dad's house. You know, if I went back and told my mum and dad that I'd had a smack off someone, it wasn't like, "Oh yeah, let's go tell the parents." It was boot me out the front door and tell them to go there and hit them back even harder. You know what I mean? And get back into a fight. So growing up was tough, and that's what defined me to the person I am today. I'm very, very straightforward, as genuine as they are, down to earth. Like, you know, I say it as it is. If I don't like you, I don't like you. If I do like you, then you're lucky.
And Connor, for us in Toronto, we call it's the mans, the mandem, right? And for where you're from, how do you guys call them?
Yeah, the mans, or the mandems, or we say it as well. Like, "Oh yeah, the mandem," or the bro, or he's my brother, or the brothers are out. You know what I mean? Or my guys, my bros, like that. That's all it is. You know what I mean?
And you said the roadmans.
Yeah, the roadman. So like a roadman is almost like it's a street kid nowadays. It's like a street man, someone who's always out on the road hustling, doing his little solo girl, you know what I mean? Boxing down the street. What you looking at? What you looking at?
Oh, okay, I see. Okay.
All
You
right.
know, there was I've heard people use that terminology before. I'm like, okay, I wonder what is that? What the terminology mean, right? Because I mean, there's a lot of terms that we use over here and over there that's kind of similar, right? So
Yeah, that roadman though is a lot. There's a lot of like memes on TikTok in the UK. If you type on TikTok like hashtag roadman, you'll see like yo people doing like little memes and sketches. Like kids sitting in there in like North Face hoodies and scarves and stuff. They're like, yo, big man, come here.
wow.
So Connor, signing with BKFC is a huge
Yeah.
thing, right? Because now it's like making your North American debut. It's a huge promotion. They're getting very, very popular. It's quite the spectacle. Are you going to have the chance to go to a BKFC event before your first showing? Like, do you know how that's going to work out? And do you have a bout planned?
Yeah, so realistically, we was down to fight November the 6th in Niagara Falls. But I was just not long on my phone to the manager because of the visa and the vaccination and stuff coming out after the 8th of November. I think we're looking at the 3rd of December in New Mexico. Apparently Diego Sanchez is headlining. So I think that's the card that we're aiming to look for. Yeah, but originally we was going to be it would have been Niagara Falls.
Nice.
So in a way, I'm glad it's delayed because even though I'm fit and in camp and I was on weight, I just didn't get a lot of the sparring I needed, and I've just started sparring a lot of professional boxers, which is about half an hour away from me in the gym. Some really good lads on the Frank Warren promotion and British champions and Commonwealth champions. So I'm getting the best sparring I could have now. So now with the lead up to the camp, I've got more top sparring in, and it makes me more confident for the fortnight.
Nice. Now, you've seen the drama that goes on at BKFC, like you've seen the lights, the action. That's not going to impact you at all. The fact that there's going to be a bunch of famous YouTubers in the stands, like you're focused. You'll just drown that all out.
Yeah, nah. That to me just spurs me on even more. There's a lot of people out there. You get some people that are just complete, like, absolute animals, fighters. They block the crowd out. They block the ref out. They block the corner out. You know what I mean? It's just them. And then there's just me who just jumps on there, sees the limelight, sees YouTubers. Oh, mate, I'll be getting to the ring and they'll be saying, get in the ring, and I'll be having these lot of selfies and stuff like
That's crazy. The fighters that they have in BKFC, are you impressed? I mean, you come from a world where bare knuckle is a little bit more of a refined thing. So you see in BKFC, are you like, no problem? Are you worried? Like, what's your...
do you know what I noticed with BKFC? That the fighters that I thought were easy have improved drastically every fight, and they've adapted to the sport. So I was watching 265 pounders that I really rate, to be fair. Caleb Harris is one of them. He's a good lad. He's come on. He was poor at the start. He's drastically improved. Elvin Brito, really awkward fighter. Unorthodox, swings wide, ducks his head, launches in. Really just horrible fighters to fight for my style, but really beatable as well at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like, if you fight their fight, which is stand in front of them and let them do what they want to do with you, you know, dip your head down and let them get you in the clinch, then they're gonna win them fights. But they're not. Honestly, when it comes down to actually looking at the talent, I don't think there's a lot of fighters in BKFC that will probably deal with more pedigree and more background. And I have been training for the clinch, so I've been working with Thai boxers now. We're doing clinch sparring and everything, and I'm even implementing into my spars. I'm clinching heavyweights with a one hand and uppercutting and working off that. So, in terms of looking at the level at BKFC, there's a lot of fighters. There's a handful of fighters that have impressed me, and there's a lot that haven't. A lot that have poor standard. That's just because it's still a growing sport, and there's not a lot of fighters that are willing to dip their feet in the deep water with it and have a go. So until they sort of, which he's doing a great job building it, I think the more UFC fighters going into it, I think you'll start to see more professional boxers. I know Terence Crawford was that one of them, wasn't he?
I
Not
think
long
so.
ago.
Yeah.
And exactly, if he's there, then he's telling other fighters about it. You know, these fighters normally that are going into bare knuckle as well now, you're starting to see a lot of former champions, old, you know, let's say washed up, sort of past it fighters going into it. And then you're starting to see a little bit more enthusiasm from the likes of Chad Mendes. Yeah, he's getting on, but he's still pretty much in the prime. Paige Van Zandt is decent. She wasn't really washed up. You know, these fighters are still quite young and they're still quite fresh. They've got something in them. It's not like we're watching. I mean, no offense to Diesel Riggs, but
yeah.
I mean, Diesel's he's a monster. Joey's a monster, but you know, he's way past it. Like he could probably never get back into the UFC now. So that's where. But I want to see more younger fighters coming into BKFC. I think me. And I think I don't know, there's another fighter, I think Fames, I'm not sure. We're like the youngest BKFC fighters. I'm 26, and I think the average age in BKFC is like 38 to 40.
Yeah, no, it's up there. That said, you know, you're a champion. So when you come and make the splash into BKFC, people are going to go, holy crap, here's a guy that knows the sport. You're not going to need a couple of fights to get better. No. Like you're coming in a champion. That's going to put a target on your back. Yeah. So how do you feel about that? Like, have people been calling you out yet? Do people know that you're coming?
I've called them out.
Okay, good.
So yeah, I called out quite a few fighters. To be fair, I've called out Brito, I've called out Harris, and to be fair, it's funny because I've watched a lot of them commenting on videos, and people have been sharing me, or people have been commenting on their posts, and I've just been watching in the background. They're going, "Oh, why don't you fight that Tierney?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, I've heard about him when he's coming over." And every one of them's like, "Oh, I just want to see what he's made of." It's like they know I'm a champion, then they probably know I'm a risk, and they want to see what sort of risk I am. You know, it's easy for Dave to say, "Look, you're fighting him," but then they're going to be like, "Well, he's a world champion in the UK, so he's not a pushover, he's not a mug." They want to see me fight, they want to see me perform, so they can put the finger on whether or not they're going to think that they compete with me. And that's all down to my first, obviously, appearance. So I might just fight really shit and
just sandbag it.
I might just be a little human punch bag for like the end of the 5th round and just try and win on scraper points decision. And I was like, "Ah, yeah, we'll fight him." And then I go in and fight Brito and just spark him in 1 second. Oh yeah, he's actually quite good.
But Connor, I was gonna say, man, like I've seen some of your fights, man. You've got hands, like you're throwing body shots too. Usually, when you're BKFC, you're head hunting, but you're throwing body shots. I saw the fight with you and James Conley, and you dropped them, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this guy's, you definitely see the boxing experience with you, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people see me. I'm stand up boxer. Got good angles, good footwork. I'm in and out, fast hands as well. And also I carry a bit of power, which it's hard to get a fighter that does all of that. And then obviously I can stand and trade. You've probably watched the fights with James where I've stood there and trade and took punches. So I've got it all now. I feel like I'm pretty much rounded into the fighter that I need to be coming across to America. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to the first fight, to be fair, and who I'm fighting.
And so before your first fight, though, you're not going to have a choreographed dance or anything to come into the ring?
Right, listen to this, right? I got a funny thing. Remember do you know the Weekend Blinding Lights?
Yeah.
He's from Toronto, right? He's from Toronto.
Yeah,
he's from our home.
Scarborough, yeah.
Yeah, I done a TikTok literally doing like the dance and stuff like that. Look, it went viral. Everyone was on about, "Oh, you need to do that," and you're walking, and I'm like, "Yeah, actually, I'm thinking about doing that."
Oh, nice. That's good, man.
Here's a word of advice for you, Connor. So I mean, you're going to BKFC, so you need to work yourself up. You need to work the hype. You need to have the roadmans to rush the ring for no reason. Listen, that's the thing. Everybody has to rush the ring. So if you're in there, someone's gonna try and take a swing at you. The roadmans need to flood the ring. Everybody needs to flood it. That's how it works, man. That's what I told Melissa as well. Like you have to have people ready to go. Your boys need ready to go and ready to swing out there, right? So that's a little advice for everybody.
So in England, obviously, you know, football's a big sport, which is soccer. And there's a lot of hooligans and a lot of fighting and trouble. And obviously, I've got my top on here. There's it. I've got my Birmingham City. This is a retro vintage top from 1994, I think, 1992. So it's limited edition. Because I played today with Jordan 0-0. But
wait, so is that the year of your birth then?
94, yeah, is when I was born.
Yeah, okay, nice.
Yeah, so it's mad. So obviously, I have a lot with the called Birmingham City, right? Have a hooligan firm called the Zulus, and it's an established hooligan organisation, right? Yeah, one of the most fierce, right, in the country. You know, we've shut down fucking cities, we've raided bars, you know, we've beat up clubs up. And I know a load of them, right, yeah, that are fucking absolute animals that want to just come over, right? With, you know, like when Ricky Hatton fought Mayweather with the drums. Yeah. It'd be class. Like, you imagine like a big fight against someone like Palomino in like Florida and bringing an army of like 100, 200 Zulus, right, with banners, flags, drums, you know what I mean? Fucking Zulu. That's what we all do as well, like the chant, Zulu army, like mate, it'd be mental. And then we just all rush the ring and batter everyone.
Wow.
Maybe just fight your fight first, then do that. Don't ruin your debut.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
All right.
To be fair, it like the atmosphere would be brilliant. Like it's like, remember the old Ricky Hatton when Ricky Hatton used to bring the Man City fans and stuff over, the football hooligans, and it's like Americans didn't realise how big the passion is from British audience watching a fight until they have the fans of Tyson Fury, Ricky Hatton over there. They're like, shit, like people are like, wow, like the British really take it to the extreme when they're supporting. Like, no offense to American audience, I see a lot of fights and there's the odd cheer and stuff, but when you go to a British fight, like you come to the UK, you come to like a showdown where Froch and Groves fought, it's like everyone's just chanting and roaring and screaming. There's beer, there's floods, there's fights in the crowd. Like it's just it's nuts, honestly. It's like the British are mental when it comes to supporting the boxing. It's a big thing over here. Yeah, really big.
No, that's awesome, man. But I'm glad that you're prepared for that, because one of the things that sometimes I'm worried about, like with the people starting into BKFC and seeing what kind of a show it is, I'm like, okay, are you going to be ready for this nonsense that's going on around you? You know? Like,
well, I've done it. I've done it before. I fought in front of 3,000 at the O2. Nice. Well, for about 4 or 5 times, I fought there with a massive crowd. You know what I mean? You see one of my videos, I'm even like hat to the ring, the crowd, like, roaring the crowd on them. You know what I mean? I want that. It spurs me on. I hear a lot of every British fighter I think I've watched fight, that you get a lot of USA chants from the crowd.
Of course.
And I know that's coming, like, as soon as they step in the ring and they start, all USA. And I'm going to be like, I'm just going to be like turning around going, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, man. If you fight a United States fighter, that's going to happen for sure, because they're going to immediately go for their countrymen. They're going to chant that up, and it's going to get super exciting, man. I know it's going to be amazing. Yeah. Connor, before we let you go, and we appreciate you coming on, man. This is crazy. We're so excited for you. We got some fan questions. You okay to answer a bit?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. The first one is from James Lilly 86. He asks, why is James Lilly your favorite fighter?
You know what's funny? James has just signed to BKFC as well. He's a British champion in BKB. Me and James actually fought glove as well last year. 2 years ago, me and him we fought each other in Wales.
Okay.
He lives in Wales, and all I'm going to say is they're about 20 years behind, and they still don't know what mobile phones are. So I don't even know how I asked that question.
I got it through regular mail.
Right, okay. Was it not Morse code?
I had to look outside. It was a smoke signal. I had to read it. It was tough.
Timmy got it via pigeon. There was a pigeon that.
Little pigeon with a little. Yeah.
Wait, I shouldn't be saying anything bad about this guy. He's a bare knuckle fighter, Prince. Forget it. I'm going to edit all that out. All right. The next question is from Joe X3. Have you ever fought overseas before, and how will you adapt to the time change and the food?
I've never fought overseas. All I can think about though is an American stack of pancakes. So in terms of food, I just
All
can't
right.
Spain because that's where I'm going first. Pancetta, pancakes, you know the drill. But I've never thought of overseas at all in my life. So yeah, the time difference and that's gonna get some getting used to. Probably get some advice off people that have done it, and they'll probably recommend what I do and what's best. I know that you inflate in your weight as well, so got to be careful making a weight because I know that you put a couple of pound on when you fly at a certain altitude. Don't know how it maybe inflammation in the body. I'm not sure.
But with the quarantine and all that, you probably have to come over a little bit earlier anyway, so it might give you more time.
I won't need to quarantine because it's what was it? It's I'm vaccinated now, so vaccination.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
No,
okay.
Yeah, no quarantine.
All right. Next question is from Squire Real. They ask, what do you like to do in your spare time when not boxing?
Fishing.
Oh.
Yeah. Fishing. I'm really big on fishing. I think that's just me. Like I suppose because I'm punching people in the face and getting my hands broke, it's probably good for me to go fishing. So, when I'm not looking after my kids or going out with my missus and having nice meals and stuff, it's literally like going fishing. I'm obsessed with it. So yeah, that's me.
Very peaceful, very peaceful.
Yeah.
And Tony's _student, he asks, this kind of maybe goes along, but what are the best knuckle conditioning drills? Like we see people, like we saw Paige Van Zandt's knuckles after, she puts her hands up and it's just big balloons. Yeah. What do you do to prep the knuckles?
So it's a little bit of a difficult one. I never really conditioned them until I actually broke my hands bad. So I've got a plate in my hand, and my one knuckles, it's that badly shattered. It was non-repairable. It just repaired and sort of like imagine like a gobstopper when you chew it and it's in pieces and it fuses together. So I'll show you now. Basically, that's my normal knuckle there. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's my broken finger, as you can see there.
We're like twins, man. Hold on, look at this. We're like twins, man. I got that too.
$1 million. No, so that's my normal knuckle there, as you can see, right? And this is my gone one. Look, so there's that knuckle there. There's the metal carbon broke. But if I can. See how the knuckles back there look?
Yeah, like it's recessed back.
Yeah.
See the difference.
And it's just completely deformed. You can see it there. It's horrible. I can't look. If you look, I can't close my little finger down properly. Look, I have to push it down. So, but yeah, conditioning. This sounds really silly. A punch. Do you know solid rubber matting in the gym?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll just do that, and or brick wall, painted brick wall. Just tap it. Don't hit it hard. Just tap, 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 tap until my knuckles are weak. And I know I'm conditioning them because my knuckles will be sensitive for a couple of days, and that's where they're repairing them. The bones are repairing itself to make them stronger. So yeah, like I said, these are pretty strong now. I fought James for 7 rounds with that broken hand, and it didn't go. The only thing I done was obviously break my other finger. I think I broke 3 fingers, a knuckle, a metacarpal bone, and I've dislocated a knuckle as well. So
that's crazy, man. James, before we let you go, I got one more question for you, but I did want to show a picture of you and your 3 children. So again, for people that are listening on audio, always check out the YouTube, but this was on your Instagram. I just wanted to share that.
Yeah. Beautiful, man. That's
you and your beautiful 3 children. What are their names?
Brooke, Killian, and Romilly.
Oh,
so
nice,
unusual.
No, it's good. That's awesome. Last question I have for you is a little bit of like, just because I don't know, and I've been fighting with people in the gym about it, and it's been a thing online. This whole thing about Tyson Fury and the slow count.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know, but being a boxing guy, sorry, I didn't share the quote, but the thing was they were saying that when the ref was supposed to do the count, that once he starts the count, or even if he gets distracted by the other fighter, that there's supposed to be some guy outside counting.
No,
and he's
there used to be a automatic counter. So some rings do it still. They'll drop down and like the speaker will come on 1, 2.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but I know the counts. Sometimes the counts are long. The longer than they are. But
Right.
it's standing. What people understand is right. It's a standing 8 count. So you've got 8 seconds basically to stand up. So it doesn't. So if you get standing 8 right and you stand up at 7 or 8 and you're wobbling and they go 9, then they look at you. They'll let you wobble for a few seconds and then they go, "Are you okay?" And you're okay as fault because it's a knockdown. If it's a knockout and he's down and unrecoverable, it's the ref calls it. I mean, yeah, you are supposed to get up within 10 seconds, but I think he did. They tried to say that on the first fight. They were like,
yeah.
Remember when he went down, they were like, "Oh yeah, he was down for like 13 seconds." I counted it. What they're doing is when Tyson landed, they think as soon as his arse touched the floor, that like 1, 2.
Yeah, like what the hell? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's when it's actual by law. When the other opponent goes to the neutral corner, they can start the count. So as soon as Deontay went into the neutral corner, the ref sees he's in the neutral corner, then he begins the count. People don't get that though. That's how it works.
And Connor, am I crazy? But like, if you're fighting, if you're a professional fighter and you know this rule, when you knock that guy down, get the F over to your neutral corner. Why would you stand around and delay the count? Go to your neutral corner. You know what you got to do.
What? Sometimes you have to be told because when you're in a moment, like I've knocked people down and I'm a bit like, and you just stand there and then like the ref's like, "Get the fuck in that corner," and you're like, "Oh shit, yeah," and you like run and grab and the first thing you do then, like you get in your corner and you hear your coach just screaming, "Connor, Connor," and you're looking and they're telling you what to do next. Stay calm, stay calm. You know, you've got, because what your coach don't want you doing is rushing in and blowing your tank, trying to take someone out now who probably is recovered. But yeah, that whole get to the corner. Once the fight is in a neutral corner, it's when the fight is in a neutral corner they can begin the count, or they can stop if they go 1, 2, and then I'm not in a neutral corner. They can stop on the 2 and go in a neutral corner 3, 4.
Right. So there's no magical guy in the corner counting, right?
No. Yeah, that's just the hater.
it's Wilder and all his fans that are saying that guy's supposed to exist, right?
It's just a hater drinking haterade.
But you could see Fury's you could see the experience as well, because when Fury dropped Wilder, you see Fury jogging to his neutral corner. Right, you see him jogging right over and waiting right there because he knows, if he delays it, the person gets extra time to recover, right? So, that's one of those ones. Like, oh my goodness, like everything every Wilder's fans are all going crazy just because they feel like he got cheated out of a count, right? So.
But to be fair, like I say, he's got to be in a neutral corner, and the fans are always going to say, "But he's been cheated." But at the end of the day, he got absolutely destroyed. So you can't argue with the performance Fury done. It doesn't matter if he stayed down for 12 seconds or 13 seconds. You know, it was never going to make a difference to the beating he was getting anyway. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Because even if he did win, people would just go, "Well, Fury was battering, like, just destroying anyway, so there needs to be another rematch." It'll never stop. And that ship needs to sail now because we need to watch Fury in other fights. But at the moment, I respect Fury's decision. He just wants to spend time with his family. If I'm honest, I do think he'll retire.
Okay.
A lot of people are saying, "Oh, yeah, he needs to come back." He don't. He's done what he's had to do. Joshua's lost twice. So Joshua has to prove himself twice now to get the titles back. Fury's never actually lost the titles. He's vacated them. And then he's went and won the WBC and the Ring magazine again. But like I say, I think he will retire. I think if he's going to come back for that Joshua fight, it won't be for another couple of years. That's my honest opinion.
All right, Connor, we've gone over time with you.
Yeah.
We appreciate you so much, man. This is crazy. We can't wait to watch you fight. Hopefully it is in New Mexico. Hopefully it's soon. All the fans, get on the bandwagon now. We're going to put your Instagram handle in the show notes. It's at Connor Tierney BKFC. Yeah. So go follow you there. Connor, before we let you go, is there anything that you want to say? Anybody that you want to shout out? Fans, friends, anything?
Just shout out to my coach, Simon Haycock, my partner, Natalie, and my 3 children. And that's all I'm doing it for at the moment. Oh, and my mum and dad and my brothers and sisters.
All right, them too.
It's my 16 brothers and sisters.
Wait, is that real?
Yeah, that's real. Yeah. So,
16 brothers and sisters?
that is 16 including me, so 15. But yeah.
Holy jeez. All right. Well, Connor, we will have you back on to talk about your 15 brothers and sisters.
That's
Okay.
Buddy, we had an amazing time with you, man. All the best. Good luck to you. Thank you so much for coming on Fight Insight.
See you later, bro. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. See you, buddy. All righty.
Nice. What a nice guy.
What a nice guy, man. Like, like I said at the beginning, not what you expect from a BKFC fighter, right? Like, handsome guy, nice guy, no tattoos, right? Like, he's going to change the game, man. He's going to change the game of BKFC big time.
That's it. You know what? I wanted to thank him for busting out the retro jersey. That wasn't just no regular jersey. That was a retro 1994 jersey that he came out with. I was like, oh man, that's a nice shirt. But I didn't know the significance of it. So, you know, Connor, if you were going to watch this episode, I mean, I know you're going to watch this episode. Thanks for busting out the retro jersey. That means a lot to us, man. Yeah,
no, it's pretty cool, man. The one question I didn't ask him, Prince, that I did want to ask him was, but we were going to run out of time. I didn't want to go too long. Jake Paul is back, baby. We are recording this on Wednesday, and they just announced Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul set for apparently December 8th, December 18th, something like that. But that's the early reports now. Prince, we weren't supposed to talk about it, but we might as well. Early predictions. This gives us a Paul brother to talk about for the next 2 months, which we're very happy with because that's all we do here. Early predictions, Prince, right now.
You know what's going to happen. Paul's is going to take it. Woodley's probably going to corner him too, since they're all both best friends now. But yeah, I think Paul's going to take it. I mean, Fury, watching these fights, Tim, I don't even know why we covered, man, because you already know everything. The whole thing is rigged. Like,
okay, so hold on. So your early prediction is this is rigged, and it's rigged, and Jake Paul wins.
Paul's gonna win it, hands down. I'll tattoo whatever it is you want on my back.
It is.
Who you got? Who you got?
Same. Of course, I have Jake Paul winning that, and whether it's rigged or not, I'm gonna say rigged or not, Jake Paul is gonna win it. I think it is terrible that he took the fight. I think Jake Paul should not have done it. I don't think this will garner as much money. If he could have fought someone more mainstream, I'll say, like if he could have figured out how to fight Masvidal or George St. Pierre or whoever the hell he wants to fight, but someone more mainstream that would bring in a bigger audience. I don't know what Tommy Fury is going to bring in, but we'll see. I'm sure they'll hype it up.
Yeah. I mean, I would have liked Masvidal and him going at it, but I mean, hey, you know what? I mean, he's got a fight coming up next too, right? So, I mean, it only makes sense for him to, drum it up a little bit and switch it up and switch away from all the MMA fighters, man. Like, let's try and get him, right? So,
all right. Next thing, that was just a little thing, but again, we'll talk about it more. I don't even know if that's 100% real. Like, literally an hour before we started recording, that came up on my Instagram. The next thing I want to talk about, Prince, is a follow-up to what we spoke about last week. So last week, if you guys watched our episode with Jenilyn Olsen, we spoke a little bit about when I witnessed a parent being rough on their kid. And I was like, and then we were talking about, parents being the coach of their kids. And I said, and I did say family, like whenever family or your spouse or whatever is your thing, and can they be too hard on you? Is that weird gap? And then frick, Prince, the next day we witness the Aspen Ladd's corner drama is what I'm calling it. And we put it on our Instagram. I was sharing it because, so for those that don't know, Miesha Tate tweeted during the fight when Aspen Ladd's corner was being very aggressive with her. And there's videos that you can watch that show, that hear it. And I'm going to try and play this and see if you can hear this. I don't know, Prince, if you can hear, but here's right before the 5th round of the main event. Aspen Ladd is not doing well. And here is her coach.
You've already closed the distance. Hey, I don't know what you're doing. You close the distance and you're jumping out.
round? Like, have you finished?
I don't know what you're waiting for. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You have cardio through the days. Push the pace.
Now you have to.
No, you have to. You have to go balls to the.
All right. Could you hear that?
Oh yeah, perfectly.
Okay. So aggressive. Misha Tate tweets, "What a douche," or something like that, right? Which gets the internet buzzing. Now, what people do not potentially realize, and I don't know if this matters, but Prince, they are dating.
Yep.
So she is dating her coach. Her coach was is her boyfriend or whatever. They're public with it. I think for several years now, maybe 4 years they've been dating.
Mm-hmm.
He comes out right after the fight and releases an apology.
Yep.
Over some kind of like what he said. We posted saying, "Ugh." We've been getting responses, DMs, people in the gym. They're like, "Tim, you're crazy. That there's nothing wrong with that. It wasn't that bad, blah, blah, blah." What do you think, Prince?
All right. And Ladd's coach is Jim West. So just saying. So
Jim West, yes.
Jim West, yeah. And
if you want, and if you want to hear what he says, just search up Aspen Ladd controversy. There's a YouTube clip that will show all 4 intermissions between rounds, and you hear his comments to her, and they get worse and worse, progressively worse throughout the fight. But okay, sorry, Prince, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, okay. Man, I'm telling you guys, I know when Tim posted that, made that post on Instagram, the amount of comments that flooded right after, it's insane, just because of, you know, everyone's perspective on this whole fight. For me, I mean, okay, listen. So, I mean, they have history together. If this is how Jim, Mr. West, you know, motivates his fighters,
Jimmy
that's
W.
Yeah, if that's the way he does it, if that's the way he gets her going, and you know, as a coach, you also need to know, you know, your fighter's weaknesses and know how to push the person's buttons and get them going, getting them motivated. You know, if that's the way he does it, then okay, by all means, okay, go ahead. But I mean, for me, if I'm trying to motivate my fighter, especially, I mean, I've emceed some fights, and go over to my boys' corner and say, "Listen, man, you got to do this for your family. You got to do it for your friends. They all came out here. You got to give it your all. Come on." And then that's how you get them motivated, right? It's inspirational words, right? But you're hearing that audio clip. Oh man, it almost brought me flashbacks of high school. And, you know, like, I'm trying my best, coach. It's almost like when they call a timeout, you almost don't want to leave the court. You're like, I'm gonna stay here. I'm good. I'm all right, right? So,
sorry, and I misspoke. Misha Tate wrote, "This is abuse."
Yes,
douche, or something like that, right? Or this is abuse, douche, or something like that. But she's calling it abuse, right? I'm of the opinion that it was not good. I also look carefully, and I'm putting it on screen. And so, you know, if you're audio only, you know, you can check it out on YouTube, or just understand we're looking at a picture here where Jim West is speaking to her. What I noticed when I watched this back is she does not look in his eyes at all. And she makes no confirmation of how he's speaking to her. Like, she never acknowledges what he's saying or anything. She's kind of looking down or to the side. He's looking straight at her, but she's not looking at him, and also gives no nod or anything like that. Not that I could see. People said, hey, this is how Jim West coaches. The last fight she did against Kunitskaya, he was doing that, and then she went out and knocked her out. If you go back and watch that fight and watch the corner, yes, he is aggressive like that too, and he's saying, you got to knock her out. But in that instance, she is looking straight in his eye. She's looking at him, acknowledging what he's saying, and she's like nodding. In this case, when you watch all four intermissions, or what do you call that? I don't even know, between rounds. I should not have a podcast, Prince. But when you watch those four things, almost in none of them is she looking at him, especially not the last two, when he's getting more and more aggressive. And to me, I can't help, like we talked about my psychological damage like last podcast, but I can't help but see into that and go, there's something wrong there, that she's not looking, she's not acknowledging him. So I don't know that that is pumping her up. So I don't know, man. I am not keen on that. I just think it was sad but coincidental that we talked about it just the week prior, and then it happened, and they are dating. And I feel like, I don't know, the Instagram was not ours, but other people's too, was flooded with people going, this is the hurt business, not the feeling business.
Yep.
Who cares? That's the way the guy coaches. I've seen it worse. What about Matt Brown's coach and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but this is her boyfriend. There is some sort of relationship there, and I can't help but feel, and I welcome people to argue with me all you want. Come on YouTube and argue with me. Come on Instagram and argue with me. DM, email us at fightinsightpod@gmail.com. I'll fight this out with anybody. I don't like it, man. I feel like it's different because they're dating. And I feel like if you look at subtle clues with her eyes, not looking at him, not giving any acknowledgement, I don't know. Anything else, Prince, on this? Like,
yeah, well, I mean, you dropped.
I thought you were going to come the opposite. I thought you were going to say you thought it was 100% okay, but you're kind of changing.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's just, okay, looking back at it and just analyzing it, and just, other people, getting other people's perspective. And it's, it's tough because, again, we don't know maybe something happened even prior to the fight. Maybe there was an argument. Maybe something, there's so much stuff behind the scenes that we don't know about, that we can't jump to, conclusions with. Right. So
you mean with their relationship?
Yeah. With the relationship and stuff like that. Right. So, I mean, at the time we caught clip of Mr. West, going in there, and that's how he's coaching it. But again, the way you describe the body language, the eye contact, I mean, that goes to show, that says a whole lot, right? In terms of, the relationship and the communication between two people, just the body language alone. And, thanks, Tim, for pointing that out. Cause I honestly just, when I was hearing the audio and listening to it, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is real, right? So,
but some people listen to the audio and say it's not that bad. Maybe I'm too old school, maybe I'm too whatever, but like, I don't know. It's a guy saying it to a girl, right? And he's your boyfriend, and I catch the body language, and all those three things for me add up to being, this is a problem. I know Misha Tate wrote this is abuse, douche, or whatever. I gotta remember what she exactly said, but she does say this is abuse. I don't know that it's abuse. I'm not saying that, so I don't want anyone to get mad at me. I'm not saying that, but I am saying I don't think it's appropriate. It definitely wasn't constructive, right? Like you said, like, even if you're not going to give constructive advice, if you're going to give more motivational, like, hey, do this for your family, this is your career and blah, blah, right? But where he's just kind of swearing and getting too aggressive and mad, I don't know that's helping her. And it didn't help her because she lost badly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even if you wanted to say, hey, I'm going to try that the first couple of rounds, and when it doesn't snap in, maybe I need to do something different. I wish two things, Prince. I wish we could get Mark Bowden back on the podcast.
Yes.
Right. For those that are new to us, we did an amazing podcast with world's #1 body language expert, Mark Bowden. Go check that one out. I would love for him to look at that clip, Prince, and tell me what he sees.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny you mentioned that, because that's exactly what I was thinking about. Man, if we had him in here, I wonder what that means, right? Like, I mean, what type of, what is Ladd trying to show us? Like, I mean, the fact that she's got her head down, she's not confirming, she's not validating,
not looking,
not looking at all, and that fear, right? So
almost okay, yes, she almost looks like she's scared in the corner.
Yeah.
And there's one time, I think it's after the second round, they don't bring her the stool. She doesn't even sit down. Like, I don't know why they didn't do that, because the other rounds they bring her the stools and stuff like that. And I'm like, did this fucking guy not bring her the stool on purpose? Is he like somehow punishing her between rounds? Like, again, Prince, my psychological damage, I'm reading things into this, but I see it and I see problems, and I think it's an issue. And I will be very interested to see her next fight.
Wow. If
she's still with him romantically, if she's still with him as a coach, and then how his coaching is, because the internet is abuzz with it.
Yeah.
Right. And so she's not going to get away from it. You know, people are going to ask her about it. People are going to ask him about it. He had to issue an apology. He issued it immediately too. So I don't even know how quickly he realized things were bad or that the internet was mad at him. I don't know. Interesting, man.
Yeah. So viewers, listeners, if you guys are listening to it right now, Timmy has dissected this. This goes down to T. No eye contact, no stool. What is going on? So, actually, Tim, thanks for pointing that out for all our viewers and listeners. I mean, go look at the clip and watch some of these things. So, you know, again, email us, guys, DM us, let us know what you think. I'd like to hear some of your perspective on the situation and also your thoughts and feelings as well. So,
and I do think we're in the middle of talking to someone now, but we are in the middle of speaking to a UFC fighter about coming on our podcast as a guest. And their coach is their spouse. So if they are open to it, I would love to be able to talk to that person about this and say, hey, would your spouse ever do this? You know, so we will see. Prince, we're running short on time here. The next thing I want to talk about, and again, something that happened literally minutes before we started to come online here to record, but we're going to talk about Costa versus Vittori. We're going to do the picks. Guys, we record this on Wednesday, we release on Friday. Minutes before this podcast, did you see what happened, Prince? I don't know.
No, what happened?
Costa has already said he's not making weight. He says he's like 211 pounds. There's no way he's going to make 186. He's calling for a catch weight. So I don't know what's going to happen, whether this main event gets canceled or not. But let's assume that the event is on. And we can talk about his weight problem in a second. But I did want to give a huge shout out because watch this, Prince. And for those that are not on video, you got to check this out. Go to @StandEmUp, Stand EM Up. This is an Instagram guy that created this for us, and I freaking love it. It is Pokemon cards that he creates Pokemon cards for UFC fighters, but it's in a joke. But man, I love this, being the nerd that I am, Prince. Paulo Costa, his ability is Costa roid rages through his opponent, knocking him out with a barrage of punches and kicks. If the attack is unsuccessful, the eraser will start to tire out. Marvin Vittori's ability is after losing the entire fight and not winning any clear round, Vittori's belief in him winning the fight makes the judges swing towards his side, gifting him a decision victory. Paulo Costa's weakness is he drinks the secret de juice. And Marvin's comment here is Izzy is not better than him, just smarter. So, man, @StandEmUp, this is some great stuff that you do, buddy. I love this crap. Prince, it is so cool.
It is amazing. Listen, I think I'm going to go with Vettori within look at the attack points on that, the ability, 999. I'm going with that. And what type of Pokemon is he? That looks like, what is it?
He's a fighting Pokemon, Prince. You don't know your Pokemon? What's wrong with you?
Fighting, and then what's Costa then? I can't see.
Costa is dark. Okay. He's dark.
Yeah. Dark Pokemon,
but, he's given Costa 170 health points, Vittori 165. I told this guy he should make a whole deck of cards so that we can play. But, okay, so who do you have winning this fight if this fight happens?
Well, you know what? I mean, okay, so both of these fighters are coming off of a loss from Israel. Vittori, I mean, so Costa, last time he fought was September 26, 2020. That was like more than a year ago.
A million years ago. He's had many hair transplants since then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if Vittori, last time he fought was June 12, 2021. So, I mean, I would swing it over to Vittori and just via hair grab. You know, if he gets down to the ground and goes on to a grapple, if he manages to get a hold of, you know, Costa's hair, he may take it. So, but I mean, this news about Costa not making weight, I mean, it's just so, man, it's disrespectful for the other fighter, right? I mean, the other person busting their butt, and now you're gonna.
Dude, he's already. It's Wednesday. He's got freaking 2.5 days to make weight, or 2 days to make weight, and he's already saying, "I'm not gonna do it." Dude, leave that media event and go do something. You signed a contract to fight. Like, Dana's gonna be super pissed if he does not make weight.
Gosh, like,
and if you're Vittori, do not accept a catch weight. Why would you put your career at risk? If Vittori loses and loses badly, which is very possible because Costa's like a monster, your career is at risk. Why would you, you know what I mean? Like, why would you let this guy just do this and not?
Yeah, but you know what? But I don't think Marvin would skip out on it. I mean, I don't think he'd decline the fight. He'd still go on it, and he doesn't want to look like he's wuss, right, and giving out on a fight like this. Like, he's been training for it, so he's probably going to go. Regardless, he's in there to scrap, and again, he's coming off of a loss. He wants to prove something, so he wants to bounce back off of that. So I honestly think he'll take the fight. It's just Costa, man. It's just. Man, like, come on. Like, that's your job. That's your job. Like, your job is to make weight, like,
Yeah.
But I guess, maybe we could ask, if what type of what type of Pokemon he'd evolve to if we use the right stone. He would use like the Roid stone to evolve, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Roid stone?
Yeah. Well, he's got to devolve because he has to get smaller. So whatever it takes for him to get smaller is what Costa needs to do. I don't know, man. That's a tough one.
What do you think, Tim? Who's your pick?
If they were to fight, if they were to fight at the right weight class, I would give it to Costa. I think we forget that Costa was undefeated until he fought Adesanya. Like, this guy is a monster of monsters. And I would have given it to Costa. If they fight at a catch weight, I'm giving it to Costa even more so because that only favors Costa being the much bigger man. And I don't even know what catch weight they're going to fight at. Like, I mean, it's just unfair. What I do think is I think Vittori, if he doesn't make weight, Vittori says, I'm not doing it. I wouldn't do it, man. I think his management needs to say, do not risk this. Do not risk your career when this guy's screwing around on weight. Yeah. I know that it's bad, and I know that, hey, you got to fight and blah, 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 but this is his career. He lost badly to Adesanya. If he loses another main event badly, I don't know where he goes from here. So, and I didn't give him a good shot at it in the first place.
Yeah. Oh man, that's brutal. And I was looking forward to that fight too, right? I mean,
I know.
So what are you gonna do? That's the fight game. It seems like the UFC's turned into like a walking Melrose Place. Like, it's like, you see Melrose Place? You know what I mean? Like,
of course I know Melrose Place. Prince, what else should we talk about? We're close up to time. We're right around perfect. I think we've covered all our topics. Next week's guest. I am so excited for this, Prince. Next week's guest, we have Daniel Martinez, the fight lawyer. This guy is a lawyer. He's an amateur fighter, but he is a lawyer for fighters. He is based out of Miami. He's going to be coming on our podcast. We're going to talk contractual obligations. We're going to talk outside actions and behaviors like John Jones or who else? Like anyone that does bad stuff outside. Liddell,
yeah.
Luis Pena. So people who are getting in trouble outside, we're going to talk about the contractual obligations and the contractual ramifications of behavior, as well as contract pay. So two great topics to speak about with a lawyer who is extremely well-spoken. And I cannot wait to talk to him. Prince is fantastic. Ever since we started this podcast, I wanted a lawyer on here.
And you know what? And also, we're going to add on to that. We're gonna find a way for me to get out of all my parking tickets and speeding tickets as well. Maybe he can help me out, because I think this should benefit us as much as the viewers and listeners. I mean, I think this is anything that you need to get taken care of in terms of legal aspects, Timmy.
I am locked into a very bad cell plan, so I need out of my cell phone plan. We will try to get that done too.
God dang.
I mean, you seem like you're in more trouble. Yours is more actual like jail time worthy. So we'll let you go first, maybe.
Yeah, if we can get mine taken care of first, and then we'll talk about yours after. Because I mean, we can still call you via payphone, right? They still have those things. Right?
Yeah, it's fine. Before we go, Prince, is there anything that you wanted to say? Anything that you wanted to?
Okay, I'll just throw this in there, guys. Again, you can follow us, subscribe to YouTube. Okay, 5-star reviews. That would be amazing. You could follow us in Instagram at Fight Inside Podcast, and you can listen to us at Spotify at Fight Inside Podcast as well. And also, if you love a healthy treat, Fight Insight 15. Save 15% on your first order. All right.
All right. And I will say one more thing too, if you don't mind. If anyone has lasted this long on the podcast, A, kudos to you and thank you. But B, if you want $50, I will give you $50 credit to a company that is working with us. Where are they? Where are they? There is a company that sells fitness-related products called Inner Strength Products. If you are listening to this podcast at this point and you want anything on the Inner Strength Products website, any of the things they do, I'm pretty sure I can get you $50. Just message me, not unlimited, so get out of here. But to the first couple people that message me that say, hey, I'm going to buy something from Inner Strength Products. That's a company in Canada, right, Prince?
Yeah, it's a company in Canada. I've actually gotten a couple of items from them. I've gotten an insert belt, which is amazing, especially if you're a power lifter, and SB products as well. I've gotten wrist guards from them and knee wraps too. So amazing products. So just let you guys know that.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure we're going to do like a giveaway later, but I'm pretty sure if you want $50 to use on their website to their stuff, just message us at either through our Instagram or email us at fightinsightpod@gmail.com. And if I can, I will get you that $50 to use. No minimum payment too, as far as I know. So got it. Prince, next week is going to be amazing. This week was amazing.
We're on a roll, Timmy. We're on a roll, buddy.
I'm excited, man. That was a great podcast, Prince. Connor Tierney, amazing guy. What a cool dude. See you, man. Right now, check out these videos that are all flying around us.